Well, I've been asked to make a tutorial video on how to paint custom trucks and just paint trucks, so yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And this screen recorder that I'm using, not the one I usually use, that's the Windows screen recorder. This is just kind of what I got off the store. So it only records in 10-minute intervals, so I have a timer going. Tell me when that's going to happen. Anyway, so the first thing you always want to do, of course, when you're making a custom truck, after you've figured out what truck you're going to use, and in this case, for this tutorial, I'm going to use the Cool Bus right here, which is a cloned higher education. So obviously, once you have your truck, obviously the first step you're going to want to do is finding the truck PNG file, or the paint PNG file for the truck. And the easiest way to do that is to extract the file, the zip file like this. And what that will allow us to do when the zip file is extracted, it will allow us to open up the images right here, and it will make it easier to find the truck image, which is right here. So we're going to copy that out. Well, you don't really have to, but I'm going to copy it out, return to the desktop, paste it in, and the program I use for the base is Paint 3D, so that's what I'm going to use here for this tutorial. And now that you have your truck image here, excuse me, so what you're going to want to do, obviously, pick a color, blah, blah, blah. Pick a color that you want the truck to be. And, of course, what I do, of course, for the background is to use the paint bucket. And sometimes you have to play around with the tolerance a little bit, of course, because less tolerance means less fill. More tolerance means more fill. And in that case, I was good the first time. So what you're going to want to do is use the paint bucket tool to paint the body like this to the color that you want it to be. And sometimes you're going to have to get in the, in between the letters here. Sometimes the holes are smaller, but thankfully higher education is being nice, and the holes inside of the letters, excuse me, not the numbers, are small and easy to access. Now, of course, it's not always this simple. A lot of trucks will have much more complicated bodies. And sometimes what you want to do is just paint over the body entirely. So, what I usually do for that is carefully take the marker tool, just kind of draw over the paint. And of course, a lot of the time, you're probably going to have to redo it or undo a lot of the messed up parts. Because a lot of the time, like I said, the truck bodies will be really detailed. But I chose higher education for the reason that it's a very simple body to, and again, you'll probably have to adjust the size as you go along. But I chose higher education because it's a very simple body. And I don't know, we'll make the stop sign different color. Alright, so when you have the painted body that you want, what you're going to want to do is save it. Now you'll have the painted body. And if all you have to do is change the color of the body, then you're good. You can take the higher education body, copy it into the file that you need, and then, of course, put the file into the mods folder if it's not already there. If it is, then put it into the one that's in the mods folder. And let me go ahead and do that right now. Take the higher ed body, mods folder, go to Cool Bus, paste it in, And I forgot to delete the truck file from when I... Now, of course, what you're going to want to do when you have your paint copied and pasted into the truck file, you're going to go to the simple test train because it just loads fast. Go to your truck. In this case, it's Cool Bus. Go to whatever truck you painted. And when it spawns in, you'll see that the paint is done. Now, I did a rushed paint job, obviously. You can see there's still yellow around the edges, and I haven't done the spec file yet, which a lot of the trucks have a spec file, which is extra detail on the truck's body. And I will show you how to do that in a minute, after I explain that, of course, a lot of the other parts, like the sway bars, 4 links, mainly the sway bars, 4 links, bead locks, and tie rods will all be painted as well. It's the exact same process as the body. Just go into Paint 3D or whatever program you use. Use the paint bucket to paint those, and then copy paste them into the truck file like you did with the body, and they will show up blue like I did with the 4 links here. And now that that's out of the way, we'll get the spec file done as well. Okay, so now that you have your body and other parts painted, you will, of course, most trucks will have a spec file, which should be right next to the body. And usually what it is, it's just a darkened version or a version with less of the decals on it. The spec file basically just adds extra detail, extra shine onto the truck. So depending on how shiny you want your truck to be, you do different things with the spec file. So let me copy and paste. Or actually, no, I have the body already. So we're going to do copy and paste this and rename it to Higher Ed Body Spec. Just like that, no spaces, all lowercase on the spec. So if we do only that, and then we copy paste that into the Cool Bus truck file, when we boot up the game, you will see that the truck will be kind of shiny. So, altering the spec image, you can do it in a bunch of different ways. You can gray out some of the parts, but usually the most efficient way to do it is to darken the image. Like that. You can, of course, you can use the whatever it's called, Windows Photo Editor. Then just save it, replace it, and when you go to copy paste that into Cool Bus, and it will be less shiny now. And what you can do if you don't want your truck to be shiny at all, just go into the Cool Bus mod, find the truck body and then the spec file, and just delete the spec file from the mod folder. And that way, the truck won't have any shine at all, it will just be the pure body, which a lot of the time is better anyway. So that is the, basically the basics of it. Now I'll get into, actually, like, making, like, decals and stuff and other things that are useful. Alright, so a useful thing that you can do a lot of the time is you'll add a texture in the truck. What I do is I use this website called lunapic.com, and you upload the image. Go to, over here on the side, go to the paint bucket tool. What you're going to want to do is click Edit Clipboard, choose File, and it'll be one of these. Just anything, really. I'll use this. The smaller the image is, the better it works. Then you go in pattern your clipboard and click, and the texture will show up. And a lot of you'll obviously want your truck color to be the same color as the texture so it looks better. But that's how you texture trucks, and click again on all the areas you want to be textured. Like this. And here you go. You have the textured truck. Now what you want to do, save image as, and just name it the exact same thing as the original, so you replace it. Now that's how I texture the truck. Of course, another thing is adding the decals on the truck. So, what I do for that, I use this other website called befunky.com, the photo editor. You go to create up here, photo editor. As it loads, open from computer, you take higher ed body or whatever body you're using, and it'll image manager, go to computer, just look for through your images for something, just anything, and add an image on there. Now, of course, a lot of the time you're going to want to add, like, flames or sparks or a skull or something. But you can just add all the designs on there. Right-click it. You'll get delete item. Duplicate item. Very useful, obviously. You got layer order. You can decide what images. You see this car is in front right now. If you click move backwards, it'll be behind the image. So that's very useful. There's also text that you can make. Just kind of making it up as I go along here. Of course, you can edit the size, color, outline, font, all the good stuff. There you go. And, it's like a regular photo editor. Just arrange the things kind of how you want them. Add the body armor logo on there. Why not, right? I was looking for flames, but I apparently don't have any right now. So then what you're going to want to do is save to computer. A lot of the times it will put it on JPEG. Make sure you put it to PNG, then save it. And of course it will be in your downloads or wherever it decides to put it. Copy that image into your mods folder. Again, put that image in, replace it, cool bus, high ed body, and then of course you go into the game and see the masterpiece you created. And of course now when you load back up the game, you will see the truck. Beautiful, I know. Absolutely beautiful. I spent a lot of time on it. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. And those are basically the basics of how to retexture and make custom trucks. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it actually helped. If it didn't, let me know. I'll try to be more specific, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's the tutorial. I made Cool Bus. It's incredibly cool. I'm gonna throw it in a fire pit after this video's done. But yeah, hope it helped, and I'll make more if you want. Make more tutorials if you want. I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Bye.